All right. Hello, everybody. I was running just a little bit behind, but hopefully I got on here before everybody thought I wasn't doing it again. Give me 1 second so I can load comments. So if anyone is here with me, please type in and let me know that you're here. Tonight we're going to be going over the, let me put it up, Botanical Prints Product Medley. And what this is it is similar to an all-inclusive kit, except that it doesn't, I'm trying to think. Actually, it's pretty close to an all-inclusive kit, except it doesn't come with like the Stampin' Dimensionals, the adhesive, like the paper pumpkin comes with all of that stuff included in it. So it's not quite like that, but it is a medley, and obviously you can make several different things with this type of a suite. So I keep calling it a suite. It's not a suite, it's a medley. And so that's what we're going to be going over. But before we get to that, I want to pop up a couple of things. Again, a reminder that if you have ever thought about joining and becoming a demonstrator for Stampin' Up, now is the time to do it. The best deals are right now during celebration because you get so much more than you normally get with your $99 purchase. Normally you get $125 worth of products for $99, but right now you also get the new mini cutter, a 6x6 designer series paper sampler, and your choice of any stamp set that's offered in current catalogs, besides the host sets and the celebration sets. So don't forget that. The next thing that I want to mention is that, let's see if I can get this off. Oh my gosh, it doesn't want to go off. Hold on. You can get a free stamp set with March's Paper Pumpkin Kit, but you do need to order that between February 11th and March 10th. So again, keep that in mind. There is a, timeline that you have to get that order in to be able to get that deal. So just so you know, that is going on right now. So that is from February 11th through March 10th that you have to place that order for a paper pumpkin. And if you guys don't know what paper pumpkin is, about 2 weeks ago, I did a whole presentation on paper pumpkin. So just scroll down on my Facebook page, my business Facebook page, Julie's Creative Stampin', and you'll be able to see that. All right. So let's see if I can get these to turn off. This one does not want to turn off for some reason. This could be a problem. Let's see. Okay, there we go. I've got it back on me now. Okay, and then one more thing really quick. Hey, Shanine, glad you're here. So I just wanted to pop up card making classes for this month. The first one listed, March 7th, is one of my team members, Brenda Lease. She is holding one at 10 a.m. in Aztec. And then the next three, so Thursday, March 12th at 10 a.m., Thursday, March 12th at 5:30, and Saturday, March 14th from 10 until 12:30. So those are their classes. You do need to RSVP. You can just text me or call me if you are interested in any of those classes, or you can make a comment during this broadcast and let me know that you're interested with your contact information, and then, or just say you're interested, and then I will private message you and get your contact information so that you can attend those classes. Okay. And then one other little housekeeping thing here is this month's hostess code is right there. And then again, I am going to encourage all of you, please go to my blog, sign up for my newsletter, because what happens is I send out I post 3 cards a week to my blog with instructions and everything that you need to purchase to make those cards, if you choose to do that. But regardless of whether you want to purchase anything, you need to go and look at my blog, look at those cards, because it gives you a really great idea of how to put together your own cards with the things that you currently have. So that's at stampandjuliebrown.blogspot.com. And then, of course, that you order through juliebrown.stampinup.net. All right. So I think we are about ready to get started. So let me switch it to here and see. Oh, okay. Got to get that one off. Okay. So let me talk to you a little bit about what all comes in this suite. So the Botanical suite has just so much stuff in it. So it comes with these labels. It comes with these that you can punch out, and I'm going to be working with a lot of this tonight. It also has these really cool detailed die cutouts, and then it has all this double-sided paper, and the other side is black. So one side is going to be black and white, and the other side is going to be colored. So we've got, this is one of the patterns with the other side black. Let me see if I can just kind of put them both up here so you can see. And then we have this one, and the other side to that is, whoops, I grabbed something else here. All right, let's see. Oh, that's not the other side, sorry. The other side is the stripes on that one. And then we have these really pretty flowers. And the other side is that pattern. And then we have this pattern here. For some reason I got, let's finish with this terracotta tile. So then there's this pattern, and the other side looks like that. All right. And then you have no sound. It might be you. Hold on. Have these really pretty flowers. Yeah. So hold on one second. I've got someone that doesn't have sound, so let me go ahead and respond to her. Let's see. This pattern here, for some reason so hold on one second. Let's see. Sorry guys, I'm just typing in for this person who's commented. Since she can't hear me, I can't just tell her. So I'm trying to tell her to check her mute button. So let's see. All right. So then we have this pattern, and that's the pattern on the other side of that one. And then this one, and the other side is this one here. So that's just the paper that comes in this suite. Then you also get a stamp set, and this is the stamp set. And then you also get the dies, and here are the dies that come with that. So basically, like this die is going to cut out this image. This die is going to cut out this image, and this die is going to cut out this image. And then you have some extra ones in here that will cut out other things. So Shanine, I hope you're getting your sound going. I hope that you can get that up and running. Hope you saw the comment, but so hopefully we'll keep going, and you'll let me know when you can hear me. So anyway, that is, oh, I'm sorry. And then it comes with this really pretty ribbon. And then it comes with these little, they're like little bees. And that comes in the set too. All right, so we're gonna get started. And Shanine, if you can hear me, go ahead and let me know you can hear me. That way I know that your sound is working. Anyway, let me get all this stuff out of the way, and then we're gonna get started on our first card. So as you can see, this comes with a ton of stuff that you can work with. All right. Okay, so the first card that we're going to do, we're actually going to do some stamping. And what I'm going to do is, let me show you everything that we're going to be using in the first card. So we are going to have a piece of thick white whisper. I can't talk tonight, ladies. A thick whisper white card base. And then we're going to use this, but we're going to be cutting it. And then we're going to be using one of the little labels that comes in the product Medley. So for Shanice, since you just got your sound going, all of the stuff that I just showed you is all things that come in this Medley. So it's kind of like a suite, but they're just calling this one a Medley. Because the difference is on a suite, you can buy things separately, and with a Medley, you have to buy everything together. Okay, and then we're going to use Pretty Peacock, and I believe this is, let's see, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then this is 4 by 5 1/4. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp on our card front. So I'm going to grab my stamp set, and let's see if I did. Okay, so I already got all these done. I'm going to show you a really cool way to, and let me, you know what, let me do that right now while I'm thinking about it. I need to find a new stamp set. And let's see, one that is a cling that I haven't already put the stuff on. I'm trying to show you guys how to do the labels on this. Let's see. Okay, I think I haven't done it on the ladybug. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. So I want to show you a really quick tip before I get into this. So as you guys know, when your stamps come to you, they're the cling stamps. They look like this, and then there's no labels on this side. So I just recently learned a very cool and easy way to put your labels on. This is pretty exciting. So you get this sheet here that has the labels on it. And so I'm going to do this big flower. So basically what you're going to do is you're just going to remove this cover that's on there. And then you are going to get onto this, and you're going to take that whole flower off of there. So you're just going to take that whole piece off. Then what you're going to do is you are going to remove one side of this backing. Okay? So you've got one side on, one side off. Then you're going to lay down the side that you've left the backing on to give you some time to get it on there right. And then you're going to go ahead and stick this side down, and then you're going to lift this up and pull this side off, and voila! It's a very easy way to get those stickers on perfectly right. So that's my little tip for the night, and I may show this again later if I see more people that come in after I do that little demonstration. So for those of you that have ordered stamp sets, the cling stamp sets that you have to put those sticky labels on, that's the best way to do it. Okay, so I'm going to use this stamp right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in, helps to put it the right side down, I am going to bring in some Pretty Peacock ink. So here's my ink pad. And then I'm just going to fold this over. Well, actually, I'm going to do this side, and then when I get to this side, I'll fold it over. So I'm just going to basically kind of make my own background. Okay, so I'm just going to do some stamping, and some of it I'm going to stamp off, and then others I'm going to keep in. And so I'm just going to very quickly kind of do my little design on my card front. So this I am stamping directly onto my card front. And then when I get to this corner here, or this side, because I don't want to stamp it on the back of the card, I'm just going to fold that over and bring in that stamp and get the areas in those corners. Okay, so that's what it looks like once you stamp onto the front of it. Then what we're going to do is we are going to cut down this little laser. These are called laser. They laser these to cut these out, but we're gonna cut that down. And let me show you how I did that. Sorry, I always try to clean my stamps. Okay. So I'm kind of measuring like how far I want it to go. Unfortunately, it didn't quite fit this way. I thought, oh, that would be perfect, but it wasn't perfect. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm going to count up 1, 2 squares, and then I'm going to cut at the top of this square. So let me bring in my snips. And so here's the top of that square, and I am just going to just kind of follow that line right there, and I am going to cut that piece, and then I'm going to do this twice. Okay, so there's one. Right, I got those edges, and then I'm going to turn it to this other edge, and the reason I'm doing that is because I've cut this off, it's got a really thin line, and I want it to match, so I want it to have the same thick line. So I'm going to turn that, and I am going to cut again right along that edge. I'm trying to keep this side as thick as the other side, so we are moving along here. Okay, and then I will save this piece, and I'm sure I can find something to do with it later. All right, so then I'm going to take these 2 pieces, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere one to this bottom corner down here, and then I'm going to put one up here. So I'm going to bring in my Tombow liquid glue, and I'm just going to place little dots. Whoops, that was not a little dot. And you know what? This might be a good time. Let me show you a really fun way to ink something like this up. So if you bring in your silicone mats and you have something that's really detailed like this, this is just a really good way. So you can take your Tombow glue and just kind of put a little bit on your silicone mat. So this is going to be tip 2 for the night. And then you just dab this in that glue, and then you just dab the back of this. Okay, and that's going to cover it with the glue that you need to adhere this to the front of your card. So then I'm going to just lay that down. Okay, and I got that glue on the back of it. So now I'm going to do the same thing again. So I'm going to bring in my Tombow glue. Just put myself a little bit of glue right there. This is probably the easiest way to, you just need, and Stampin' Up, of course, sells the sponges, sells the silicone mat. So we're just going to ink that up and just cover that. That's a lot easier than putting the little dots on it. And then it's really easy to clean up the silicone mat when you're done. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm just going to put that right at the top of the card and lay that down like that. Then I'm going to turn this over, all right, because we have pieces that are kind of hanging out a little bit. And I'm just going to take my snips and I'm just going to trim those right up to the edge. All right, so now we've got that on. So far, so good? All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in this little label, and I'm gonna have to clean off my, let me clean this off really quick because I want to use that so that you guys can see what I'm doing, because when it's white on white. So I'm just taking a baby wipe and I'm wiping off that glue. And then I'll just turn this over and use the side that's dry so I don't get my label all wet. Probably need to get me another one of these for demonstrating so I can mess one up and bring in a clean one. Okay, so I'll just turn that over, and then here's my little label, and I'm going to bring in the sentiment that says, "I'm always here for you." So we're going to put that on a block, and again we're going to bring in our Pretty Peacock ink pad. Whoops. All right, and then we are going to just stamp that right in the middle. Okay, so then we've stamped that on that little label. Now remember, this label is one of the things that comes with this set. You just punch it out. So if you guys didn't catch that at the beginning, so it's in this sheet right here, and so I just punched it out, and then it already has this design drawn on it. So it makes it a little bit easier to, you know, you don't have to try to stamp that design as well. All right, so there's that. And then the next thing that we're going to do, let's leave that there, is we're gonna bring in our, I need to find me a scrap piece of Pretty Peacock, which I think I can handle. All right, and then I'm going to bring in the die, the Big Shot. Okay. Oh. All right, and then I am going to cut out from the dies. It comes with 2 of these little leaf dies. So I'm going to stick those on there. Yes, Shanine, I got to hug my sweet new grandbaby. I've been on a whirlwind trip because I went to Vegas to see my new grandbaby, and he's just, you know, the cutest grandbaby ever. Hi, Mel. And so I got to see him and, yes, hug him. And then I got back on Monday and then turned around and left Tuesday to go up to what's called Roots Tech. For those of you that don't know, I am a crazy family history, finding my genealogy person. And so I went to Roots Tech, and I was there from Tuesday until Sunday, learning all the different new tricks, tips and tricks for researching my ancestors. So it's been a crazy, basically kind of about 10 days. So anyways, so for those of you that's just joining, I'm using the Botanicals Prints product medley that is in the mini catalog. And so it comes with a bunch of paper and dies, and so I just used a couple of those dies. Let me move that. All right, so now I've cut those out. So now what I'm going to do is I want to be able to stick this in the middle of this. Now when you're popping things up, when you're using dimensionals and you're popping them up, it's really easy to then stick these little pieces that I just cut off underneath. So you don't have to kind of lay them down first and then hope you've laid them down right. So I am going to pop this up, and I am going to kind of pay attention. I want to make sure that I put my dimensionals in the center so that when I go to stick these leaves in, there's space for me to stick the leaves in. So let me just, if you haven't ever done this before, make sure you always use all of the outside of your dimensionals. I try not to waste any of that. Let me stick that one there. So I'm going to use 3 of them and stick that on there. Okay, bring in my tweezers and pull that off. And then I'm going to flip this over and try to center this the best that I can without sticking my head in the screen. Let's see how well I can do that. Okay, that looks okay. So then I'm going to bring in my mini glue dots, and I'm going to stick those to the bottom of each of these leaves. And then I'm going to take these leaves and I'm going to stick them up underneath so that that glue dot is hidden. So there's one right there. And then this one, I may have to trim it just a bit so that I can get it up underneath there, because I'm trying to put it right where there is a dimensional. But I want the glue dot to be hidden. So there you go. See how you can adjust a lot easier this way than if I had tried to lay it down first. So that is another one of my little tips for the night. Okay, so then we're going to bring this one in up here, and it does kind of fight you a little bit, because it tries to, as soon as it touches the card, it tries to stick to it. So there's that one. Oh, excuse me. All right, so then I'm going to bring this one in. Again, I trimmed that just a bit. And I'm going to bring this one in and get it stuck up. Oh. Easier said than done, huh? There we go. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to use, let's see. I think I used, yes. So the Noble Peacock Rhinestones, it has the pretty peacock color in here. So I'm going to take a few of these rhinestones, and I am just going to place them, and let's use my take a pick tool. I love this tool when it comes to using the rhinestones. So I'm going to use these medium-sized ones, and I'm going to stick one there and one here, and then let's do another one. Whoops, it didn't stick right there. Okay, so that is the front of the card. And you can see what's nice about these product medleys is everything matches, and so it just makes it really easy. So there's the front of your card. All right, and then for the inside, I am going to take my flower again with my pretty peacock ink, and I'm just going to stamp a little flower in this corner down here, and then I'm going to mount this onto my pretty peacock mat. And then, oh no, look what I did. Dadgummit. I had ink on my hand and I just got that all over my, so always check that. That's something to always check when you're messing with ink. And I'm a really messy stamper. So I'll probably come in and maybe put, actually, let's just fix it now. So let's see, what can I do? Yeah, so we'll come in, since I've messed that up. You guys get to see what happens when you mess something up. So I'm going to come in and put another flower there and do another flower right there. And then I've got kind of a little mess up right there too. And so I'll just come in on this edge and cover that. So that's what you do when you mess up your inside of your card. Let me check my hands this time before I touch this. Like I said, you can always fix mistakes. Okay, and I didn't put a sentiment in this one, but you could very easily let's see, what could we put in the middle of this? So we could actually put, let's do that. So this one says friend, and we'll take some black memento ink this time and ink that up, and then try to line this up. Okay, oops. Okay, so that would be good. Just that, okay? And so that would be the inside of our card. So let me get the fast fuse, or if you guys have the snail adhesive, that works as well. And we're gonna put that on the inside of this card. All right. Okay, so this card was using the dies, the stamps, and I've got that barely cut right. Okay, so we used that was that paper that comes in the set. So this is that laser cut detailed paper that I just cut down to fit, and then I used the label. And the rhinestones don't come with the product Medley, but I wanted to add a little bling. And then I did the flowers, and then there's the inside. So what do you guys think? That's the first card. All right, fun card. So our next card is, let me bring in our paper for that one. So again, make sure if you guys have any questions that you let me know. All right, so our next card is using crushed curry as a card base. And then you're going to need, I think I need 2 of these. Yes, I do. You're going to need 2 4 by 5 1/4 Whisper White sheets. And then I have a black strip that is 1 inch by 4 inches. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you liked that last one. And then I have a piece of basic black that is going to be 2.5 by 3 1/4. And then I'm using this designer series paper from the Medley. And this is 2 1/4 by 3. Okay. Now this one's going to go together pretty quick. Again, when you have, you know, these product medleys or the all-inclusive kits that they sell, it's so easy to make cards with this stuff because everything just matches, and then you just throw it together. Now, I did cut a 2-inch circle with the 2-inch circle punch. So that was the only other thing that I brought into this. Okay, but you wouldn't have to do this, but I just wanted to I wanted a circle on this one. So we are just going to take one of your 4 by 5 1/4 Whisper White pieces, and we're going to adhere that to the front of the card. Trying to get it straight here. I've been out of practice. I've been out of town, and so I haven't been doing a lot. So then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take this little strip of black, and you're going to, again, adhere that to the front. And I don't think it's vital where you place this, but I place it, you know, a little ways up. I didn't measure exactly how far up I went, so I'm just eyeballing it. Okay, and then I'm going to take our designer series paper, and I am going to add, oh gosh, it's stuck. Okay, I am going to add that to this other piece of black, basic black, and use that as kind of a mat. So we're going to mat this one. Okay, then what I'm going to do, and the reason why you want to leave a little bit of room down here is because we're going to put this on at an angle. And so you want to make sure that you have enough white space down here to handle the angle that you're going to be working with. So let's get that and get the adhesive on this one and get this going. All right, so then we are going to stick that there. All right, so then there's that. So have any of you been doing anything fun and exciting? I haven't talked to anyone in a little bit, so. And then this one, again, we're going to pop out one of these little labels. And usually, I'm using these labels tonight, but there's the other labels that come with this too. So then I'm just going to pop one of these out, and we'll be using this label. And this one, I'm going to take that friend one again, and I'm just going to stick that, if I can do this without messing it up, right in the center. Stamp that right in the center. And so no one's saying anything. No one's been doing anything fun. Have you guys been playing? Have any of you been stamping or making cards? I hope so. I hope everybody's doing that. Okay, so then we've got that. So then what I'm going to do is I want to pop up this circle. So I'm going to bring in my dimensionals, and I'm just trying to get rid of this sheet. So I'm going to be using bits and pieces of my dimensionals tonight, just so that I can get rid of this sheet of dimensionals. So there we go. So how about this? What if I ask you guys, so far, what is your favorite set in the mini catalog? Does anyone have a favorite set that they've looked at or played with in the mini catalog that they're enjoying at this time? All right, so I'm going to pop this up, and I'm going to just kind of put this in this top corner, and I'm going to overlap this piece right here just a little bit, okay? Okay, all right, and so I'm going to just put some glue in the middle of this one here. And, oh, okay, Shanine, we're losing Shanine. Her phone's going dead, so she's going to watch the replay. All right, so then I'm going to just stick that on there. Again, trying to get it centered. And then this time, I am going to bring in the, and for those of you that don't know, these are the Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels, and you can still get them even though they were in the holiday catalog. So we're going to bring in these jewels this time, because I kind of just wanted to show you how by just adding some of our little embellishments and rhinestones, you can just really make this card pop. So I'm going to stick one there, and let's see, we'll stick one there, stick one there, and then I think I'm going to stick one in the little corners of the label. Okay. Alrighty. So there's the front of that card. So what do you guys think of that? Do you see how quickly that went together? Because like I said, when you have, whether it's a suite or a medley and you have everything that matches, it's just so easy to throw these cards together. Okay, so this one, it's kind of the opposite of what I did last time. So I'm going to use this flower stamp again, and I'm going to bring in my crushed curry ink pad, But this time I'm going to stamp off because I don't want this to be really dark. So I'm going to ink it up, and then I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm just going to stick this right in the middle, right there. And I know it may be hard for you to see because of the color, but there it is. All right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with the black Memento ink. And I am going to line this up so I can try to get this straight. And then I'm just going to stamp that right over that flower. Okay, so then that's what it looks like. All right, so that's just another way to make the insides of your cards look a little more decorative. All right, so now we are going to just take this and we're going to adhere that to the inside of this card. All right, and boom, that card is done. So what do you guys think of this one? Right, so there's the front and there's the inside. And you saw how quickly I was able to put that card together. All right, so now we're going to do one more card. And this time I'm going to use some of the punch outs, and we're going to do some stamping and punching or cutting out. Okay, so this card, you need a piece of thick Whisper white cardstock as your base. And then you need a 4 by 5 1/4 Whisper white. And then I believe this one is you're going to need 2 basic blacks. One is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, which is this one. So these 2 pieces are going to be the inside of our card. And then you need a piece of basic black that is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. And this time we're using the terracotta tile with that designer series paper, which is the Botanical prints. And I believe these are both 2 by 4, if I remember correctly. Yes, those are both 2 by 4. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our card base, and I've already scored it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to attach this to the card front. Alrighty, so here we go. Get this attached. This always seems to be the most stressful part for me when I'm doing this live, because I want to make sure I get it straight. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we are going to take our terracotta tile piece, the 2 by 4, and we're gonna actually put this on this side of the card front. Okay, so we're there. Oh, Mel, I'm glad you liked that last card. Again, I like things that can go kind of quick. And like I said, that's one of the great things about Stampin' Up! Is it just has all of this coordinating stuff that makes it easier. But this is just a particular suite that has a ton of stuff in it. Okay, so we're going to place that piece there. Then we're going to take our designer series piece and again attach the adhesive to it, and we're going to overlap. So we're going to kind of leave the same spacing that I have down here, and I'm going to do that in the top upper corner. And it will overlap this piece here. All right, so we've got these 2 pieces down. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in, this was punched out of a sheet that looks like this. So it's this piece right here. So I just punched this one out, and I'm just going to adhere that right there with some Tombow liquid glue. so there's that. Yeah. Okay. Making a mess. I have glue everywhere. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to bring in our ribbon. And I'm going to, I think, take about, I don't know if it's going to take quite, let me just kind of see what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, so I think it's going to take about 10 inches. All right, so that was about 10 inches of the ribbon. And I'm going to, again, use glue dots. So I'm going to take that glue dot and attach it to the ribbon. And I'm going to stick this ribbon there and just kind of make it do a little fun little loop up there. And I'm going to place another glue dot right here. Trying to decide whether I want it to come out both sides. Let me think about this. Yeah, I think we'll do it that way. Going to bring this in just a little bit more, kind of making this one up as I go. And then, yeah, we'll leave it so it comes out the bottom as well. So then we're going to just put another glue dot right there and bring this tip in right here. All right, and then that way we've got like a little bow. It looks like a, let me bring it closer so you can see, but it basically looks like a little bow. All right, and then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to pop it up, but before I do that, again, I want to use a label on here, and I think maybe this time I'll go ahead and, oops, I didn't clean that off. I'll go ahead and show you, I'm not sure if this one will fit on the other label. Let me get this put on a, I want to do the other sentiment that's on there, which is thank you kindly. All right. And let me pull in, I just want to measure and see if it looks like it'll fit on there. Not sure if it's going to, but we're going to try it and see how this works out. All right. So, and again, I use the 2-inch circle punch for that. And this is Pear Pizzazz is, or I'm sorry, Old Olive is what I'm using here. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my terracotta tile ink and ink up the sentiment. Okay, and let's see if I can get that on there. Ah, it does fit. Fits perfect. All right, so we've got that on there. So let me bring that closer so you can see it. It takes my phone a little bit of time to, let me, if I put my hand behind it, then it will focus on that. Okay. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna adhere this to the circle. And again, you only want to put glue kind of in the middle because the edges will hang off a little bit of the circle. So I'm going to push that. One of the nice things about the liquid glue is it gives you a little wiggle room. So we're going to stick that on there. Now, because I'm going over the ribbon, I'm only going to put a dimensional here and here on the back side. Okay, so let's pull in those dimensionals. And so I want to put one up here, and then I always kind of lay it back down just to give myself, so that I know I'm putting it in the right spot. And then the other one is going to go here. Alrighty, so there we go. So we're going to stick that, get it kind of centered, stick that on there. All right, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our basic pearls, which I wanted to show you this because you can color with your Stampin' Blends. You can color these to match, but I just want to use the, I want to use them in their regular color. Okay, so we're going to take a pearl and we're going to go up here with it. And then we're going to come in with the little ones. And go right there and right there. Okay, and then I think I want to put a couple more pearls on here. Do one there. That looks good there. I'm trying to think if I want to add any more pearls. You know, I don't think I really need any more pearls. Okay. So that is what that card looks like. And again, it was just using everything that's in this set and adding the cardstock. All right, and of course you could do this differently. You could have just put the ribbon on this end. Oh, I was going to bring in one more thing on this one. I wanted to use one of these little trinkets that comes with it. They're these little bees, and they're just so cute. And I think I want to put him, do I want to put him there? Do I want to put him up there? Yeah, no, I'll put him on that. So I'm going to take a glue dot, maybe a couple of glue dots, and I think it might only need one. All right, and then we're just going to stick him right there. All right, so there you go. Now I've used the little bee on that one. So there's the front of that one. So for the inside of this one, we're going to come in. Let me go ahead and get the white attached to the Whisper White attached to the basic black. Alrighty. And let's get, whoops. Let's get this on here. All right. And I think for this one, we will take that. We're going to do that same kind of thing that we did on the other one. But I think this time we will use the other stamp. So instead of this one, we're going to use the one with the little fruit on it. Or I guess the flower buds, however you want to think that it is. And we are going to come in with that terracotta tile. Okay. I probably should have done this before I put my white piece on there, because I just want to stamp it off, but because it's basic black, it won't matter. So I'm going to stamp that off in the corner. All right. And as you can see, it doesn't say in the stamp, in the book, that these are distinctive stamps, but they're acting like distinctive stamps because, and the reason I'm saying that is if you look at that, see how it does its natural shading? And that's what the distinctive stamps do. It puts on a natural shading. And so you really don't have to do anything to them except stamp them, and they just look beautiful. And because this is a thank you kindly, I am not going to put any sentiment on the inside, because most people like to write their own little whatever they're thanking somebody for. So we're just going to leave that blank so that they can write their own sentiment on the inside. Alrighty, and then we're going to stick this on the inside. All right, and there's our third card. Okay, so we had this one, and this one, and this one. So those are the three cards that I did with that suite. And again, I want to just kind of bring in, just to remind you, so it's not a suite, it's a medley. And when you purchase this medley, you cannot purchase any of this stuff separately. So you can't purchase the stamp set separately. You have to purchase everything together. So just as a reminder, so it comes with this stamp set, and the dies. Let me see if I've got room to kind of move this all around. And then it comes with all of these punch outs, the laser cut paper, and then, I mean, this is a stack of paper that this comes with. One side is black and white, and the other side is colored. So, and then it comes with the ribbon, and it comes with the little bees. That's everything that comes in this particular product medley. So for those of you that came in late, I know there was a couple of you that came in after the fact. I want to, I found, so I'm gonna repeat this for those who missed it, but I found a really cool way to put your labels on your cling stamps. Okay, so as you know, they come, this one I already did, but they come like this with the labels separate. All right, so let me show you again very quickly. I was on a fundraiser, and one of the ladies that presented on the fundraiser showed us all this little trick. So you don't take it out, you leave it in there, and you just take the backing off. Then you pull the label that matches that completely off of this sheet. Okay. And so then you kind of figure out, okay, that's how it's going to go. So then you're going to take off just half of the backing, not both pieces, just half. And then the piece that you still have the backing on, you are going to lay this down first, get it where it's supposed to be, and then lay down the side that doesn't have the backing. Then you're going to pick up this side and lay it down. Voila! Very easy way to put your labels on. Okay? So I was holding it off on that stamp set so I could show everybody how to put those labels on. So that's just a really cool way to do that. And yeah. So let me just remind everybody that this is the set that I used tonight. It is in the mini catalog. It is the Botanical Prints Product Medley. And there's the number. And again, this particular one, you can only buy it as a set. You can't buy any of the pieces separately. One more quick reminder is if any of you are interested in Paper Pumpkin, this would be a good month to subscribe because you have to subscribe between February 11th and before March 10th to get this month's. But there is going to be an extra stamp set in the March's Paper Pumpkin. So instead of just getting one stamp set, you're going to get two. All right. And so last but not least, let's see. None of this stuff wants to turn out is, if you plan on placing an order this month, there's the hostess code. And then again, please, please, please go to my blog. It's stampandjuliebrown.blogspot.com. If you, on the right-hand side, when you pull it up, you will see a place that you can subscribe to my newsletter. 3 times a week, it's usually on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, I post cards, both some that I've made here and just some that I'm designing, and I post them on my blog, and it has all of the directions on there. So I would love it if you guys would follow me and comment on my cards and let me know what you think, whether good or bad. I don't mind because I like input on whether or not you guys are liking what I'm doing. So again, I appreciate everybody's time tonight. I am so grateful that you guys take the time to be here and to watch the things that I'm doing. I absolutely love Stampin' Up. And I don't think I said this at the beginning, but for those of you that are new on here, my name is Julie Brown, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I do have, obviously, you're on my Facebook page, Julie's Creative Stampin'. That's where most of my live videos will be. So anyway, everybody have a great night, and hope to see you next Tuesday at 6 p.m. If not, at one of my card classes. So anyway, have a good night. Thanks again for being here.